of you might be looking for some classic 1978 Michael Myers Coveralls, and I just wanted to quickly show you kind of the differences between between what's out there. So basically, entry level stuff you can find, you know, like you can get stuff at Spirit Halloween, you know, a mechanic's jumpsuit, you know, like this beautiful thing right here. So you could go for something like this, where, you know, this will do the trick, I guess. And it's what, it's 30 bucks. So I mean, you know, this will, like, people are gonna know who you are, I guess. But you know, it's not gonna look that great. You can see in the back, it's not exactly awesome looking, but I mean, you get the point. So you could start at that level, basically, you know. Or you could jump up to something like, say, Treat Studios offers, like this thing right here. This is a one-size-fits-all deal that I got from them a while back. I think it was a couple of years ago. But it has all the, you know, the pockets in the right spots. The design is right. It's made out of polyester, though, of course, so it's really thin. But it's a nice step up because it actually looks pretty authentic. And of course the price point is going to be a little higher too. I mean, it's probably 2.5 times the price of the other one, the $30 one. You know, I'd say something like that. I think Canadian, they run about 100, so they're probably, or maybe they're 89. So I think there's 69 in the States, something like that. But a little over twice the money of your entry-level Spirit Halloween type stuff. But they are decent. They're not bad. I mean, for what you get, it'll do the trick. But again, it's really, really thin, and it's polyester. So if you're in a fairly cold climate like we are, like by the time Halloween hits, our temperatures are freezing. At night or pretty close. Like I'd say maybe once every 10 years we'll get a Halloween where, you know, it's not totally cold at night. So the thin stuff for me, I kind of have to pad up a little underneath, I think, if I'm going to be doing a lot of walking around. But yeah, they are not bad. So I'll give you a couple closer look shots here. So you can see that there's some areas on the stitching, for example, where there's like loose threads here and there. I mean, overall, the stitching and everything is pretty nice. Like, they did a pretty good job with them. It's just, there's a few spots for like finishing and whatnot. You know, there's threads hanging, but you'd kind of expect a few things like that, I suppose, for the price point and the accuracy you're getting. But not super durable, being polyester. I mean, you can see there's little pulls and stuff here and there as well. And I've only had them on a couple of times, basically just for pictures, really, and nothing too serious. But you can just see there the difference. And of course on the back, it's kind of the same thing. It's, you know, it's pretty accurate. It has the action back, I guess you could call it, the pockets and everything. It does have this sort of hammer holder, or whatever you want to call it, the loop on the side. I'm not sure if the original ones had that or not. I would guess they must have if they tried to copy that. Although I do not have them on my Superior 78s over here. So, yeah, so that's basically it for the Tots. But I mean, they're, for the price point, they're definitely not bad. So let's just take a quick look at the next step up. Now, if you want to go all out, you basically are gonna go for the original Sears trade wares, which are gonna run you, you know, probably at least $800, maybe $1,000 for something authentic, like out of the mid 70s that look just like the ones from the film. They're just so rare, hard to find, you know. And then good luck finding the right size, because most people have to sort of settle. They can't always quite nail the size perfectly. So that's another thing that's tough with them. But Connor Finn's there with Creepy Customs. He put together this package he basically does with some vintage Sears. Like these are old Sears as well. I'm not sure if they're late 70s or what they are, but they're similar to the trade wares, and he just makes some modifications, of course. He fixes the collar, does the pocket, you know, to try to get the right look on them. All the little details are definitely here. No hammer loop on these like the other ones have. That's one thing I did notice. So I don't know if that was something that was on them or not, but yeah, there isn't on these ones. And you can see the color difference a little as well, as these are text green, which most of the guys agree that text green was likely the color, or likely the shade that these coveralls were in back then. So it should be similar to that. I know you can't get it bang on exactly. Everybody's a little different, I'm sure, the way they see greens and grays and navies and all that. But you can see that the Treat Studios it's quite navy. Like when I see it, it's almost a little bit charcoal gray. But I know I have the junior size in the 2018 that my son got for Halloween back in 2018, of course. And they definitely look a lot more gray. So these to me look very navy. And there's almost a sheen to it with the polyester. But these definitely look more green to me. Still a little bit grayish, but they definitely come off a little bit more green, and under this lighting anyway. Not that I have good lighting in here, but yeah, there's a good solid difference there in color. But that's basically what you're looking at for, again, probably a little over double the price, probably almost triple, I guess you could say. But again, way less than what you're going to pay for actual trade wares. Like if you held up a pair of trade wares next to these would still look pretty good. They would look pretty accurate. Like you could put them side by side and go, you know, they look very similar, you know. But yeah, the trade wares are going to be probably 3 or 4 times the price of these. So again, there's different levels. I guess it depends how accurate you want it to look. Like for me, I wanted to go for something that looked good. You know, I didn't want something that looked pretty, like there's a million different Myers cosplayers out there and stuff, and some of them are completely over the top crazy, like wow. And I don't aspire to be that level. I mean, if you can get that kind of gear together, great, but it's kind of hard to pull that off at that level. So I try to get as close to it as I can, within reason, without having to spend a ridiculous amount of money. So that's why I kind of went this route. I thought they looked very close, you know. So that was my goal. But you know, a lot of you could be totally happy at this level because these look really good. You know, like for the most part, everything is laid out like it should be. You know, this isn't even a real flap or anything on here. It's just basically looks like one. And the collar's all modified and everything as well. So you can just see in here the stitching, of course, is totally different. The fabric is totally different. It's much heavier. It's a real, you know, well, it's a real work suit. You know? serious coveralls, so they're far more durable as well, right? So it really depends what you're after, but if you just want something that looks pretty good and you don't want to spend a fortune, Treat Studios is a great option. You know, so definitely bear that in mind. All right, well, I'll just leave you with a few more pictures so you can see some of these differences again, and I'll post a link to for Connor's information, and of course a link to Treat Studios. I'm sure you guys know where to find them, but I'll throw that on there as well. And yeah, thanks very much for watching, and I look forward to celebrating more of this fine Halloween season with you all. Take care. See you on the next one. Bye, guys.